Some games are more than just entertainment. They're tests of focus, patience, and pure skill. They don't hand you easy wins or forgiving checkpoints. Instead, they challenge you to adapt, learn, and overcome. Every loss teaches something new, and every victory feels truly earned. These games demand precision, timing, and the will to keep trying no matter how many times you fall. Today, we're diving into 10 hard but brilliant games that push players to their limits and reward mastery like no other. So, take a deep breath. It's time to face the toughest challenges gaming has to offer. Firstly, we begin with Lies of P, a dark, gothic reimagining of the Pinocchio tale, but far from a children's story. Set in the ruined city of Krat, the game throws players into a world where every encounter can end in disaster if you let your guard down. Combat here demands absolute precision. Every dodge, parry, and swing must be deliberate. Enemies are ruthless, and bosses punish hesitation with devastating attacks. Yet, beneath the cruelty lies beauty. Elegant visuals, haunting music, and a sense of triumph that only comes after mastering its brutal rhythm. Customizing your weapons and timing your perfect blocks becomes second nature as you learn from each defeat. Lies of P doesn't just challenge you, it sharpens you, rewarding patience, skill, and the unshakable drive to rise again after every fall.
You got a lot to answer for!
Leaping ahead, we enter the neon-soaked chaos of Ghostrunner, a game that turns speed and precision into an art form. Set high above a crumbling cyberpunk city, you become a blade-wielding assassin who lives and dies by reflex. One-hit kills, no second chances. Every level is a blur of wall runs, mid-air dashes, and lightning-fast sword strikes, demanding perfect rhythm and timing. It's not about brute force, but flow, learning to move like a machine, to dance through danger without hesitation. Every failure teaches you something new, and every success feels electric. When you finally pull off that flawless run, cutting through enemies in seconds, you feel unstoppable. Ghostrunner doesn't just test your reflexes, it transforms them into your greatest weapon. Traversing the rift, we land into the haunting, loop-bound world of Returnal, where every death is just the beginning of your next attempt. You play Celine, stranded on the alien planet Atropos, forced to relive her crash and fight through ever-shifting biomes with no guarantee of escape. The challenge here is merciless. Bullet hell-style combat in a third-person shooter where enemy fire patterns vary, terrain rearranges, and resources vanish when you die. Yet, for those who persist, the reward is primal satisfaction. Learning each biome, mastering each weapon, and overcoming the loop becomes deeply addictive. Progress feels earned because the game forces you to adapt, to learn from failure, and to return stronger. Diving deeper, we step into the gothic nightmare of Bloodborne, a game that masterfully blends horror, precision combat, and relentless challenge. Set in the cursed city of Yharnam, afflicted by a bloodborne disease and swarming with nightmarish beasts, the player must adopt an aggressive mindset, dodging swiftly, striking boldly, and learning from brutal mistakes. The combat encourages you to be on the offensive rather than hiding behind shields, making each encounter intense and fast-paced. Boss fights demand you to dissect enemy patterns, manage healing windows, and exploit risk versus reward mechanics. One key tip: observe, then strike, and don't fear defeat, because every fall teaches you something essential. In Bloodborne, survival isn't just about endurance, it's about transformation. Striking forward, we enter the intense and stylish world of Sifu, a modern kung fu experience built entirely around skill and discipline. Every fight feels personal, fast, punishing, and deeply rewarding. You play as a martial artist on a quest for revenge, where each death causes you to age, trading youthful strength for wisdom and power. This mechanic turns every encounter into a delicate balance between risk and growth. Combat is precise and demanding. You'll need to master dodges, parries, and environmental awareness to survive. Every enemy, every blow teaches you something new about patience and timing. There are no shortcuts here, just you, your instincts, and the fight. Sifu doesn't hand you victory. It makes you earn it with every bruise, every retry, and every perfectly timed counter. Ascending higher, we arrive in the brutal and beautiful world of Nioh 2, a game that tests both your reflexes and your patience. Set in a dark, demon-infested version of feudal Japan, it combines lightning-fast swordplay with deep RPG mechanics that reward precision and strategy. Every battle feels like a deadly dance. Switching between stances, managing stamina, and timing your ki pulse can mean the difference between victory and annihilation. Enemies hit hard, and bosses are utterly unforgiving, pushing you to study patterns and strike only when the moment's right. The satisfaction comes not from luck, but mastery, slowly turning impossible fights into flawless triumphs. With its blend of myth, history, and razor-sharp combat, Nioh 2 is a true test of skill, demanding focus, adaptability, and the courage to keep fighting after every fall. Venturing into the unknown, we enter the sprawling and unforgiving world of Elden Ring, where every blade drawn and every footstep across the mist-shrouded lands between speaks of both awe and danger. This game marries the signature challenge of dark fantasy action with the freedom of open-world exploration. You're not led by the hand, you carve your own path. Bosses strike without mercy, environments hide traps and secrets, and victory is earned through countless trials. You'll learn the value of patience, the rhythm of combat, and the thrill of discovery. For all the hardship, the reward is transformation, from tentative Tarnished to unwavering Elden Lord. If you crave a game that doesn't just test you, but changes you, this is it. Sprinting into chaos, we face Cuphead, a dazzlingly brutal run-and-gun masterpiece that wears old-school animation like war paint. Each level is a visual feast of 1930s cartoon surrealism, but behind the charm lies one of the hardest challenges in modern gaming. Every boss fight is a high-speed battle of pattern recognition, perfect timing, and endurance. With no auto-aim, no pause for error, one wrong move can send you back to square one. The joy comes not from the animation, though it's stunning, but from that heartbeat-skipping moment when you finally beat a fight that previously felt impossible. Cuphead doesn't just ask you to play, it demands you to commit. Forging the blade, we dive into a merciless and elegant world where one misstep means death, but each death teaches you how to survive. In Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, you play as the one-armed wolf, a shinobi driven by loyalty and revenge. Combat isn't about slow, cautious hits. It's a clash of precision and rhythm, where deflecting attacks and breaking an enemy's posture is the key to victory. Stealth, timing, and nerve define every encounter, and even the smallest mistake can cost you everything. Yet, when you finally master the sword and defeat a boss that once felt impossible, the sense of accomplishment is unmatched. Sekiro doesn't just test your skill, it shapes your discipline, making every hard-fought win feel genuinely earned. And finally, we enter the myth-shattered world of Black Myth Wukong, where every roar of the staff and ripple of the divine summons tests your skill in brutal, majestic style. Born from the classic tale of the journey to the West, you step into the role of the Destined One, a warrior in the wake of legends, wielding transformations, staff techniques, and spell-forged powers to confront powerful gods, demons, and monsters. Each battle demands you to master timing, exploit weaknesses, and stay razor-sharp, because this game doesn't ease off. The world is visually breathtaking, but the fight is where the heart beats fastest. Black Myth Wukong isn't just another brutal action RPG. It's an epic trial of reflex, observation, and persistence. Conquer it and walk away not just victorious, but forged anew. And there you have it, 10 tough but brilliant games that truly put your skills to the test. These aren't about easy wins or quick rewards, they're about learning, improving, and enjoying that rush when everything finally clicks. Each one pushes you in a different way, but that's what makes beating them so satisfying. The tougher the fight, the sweeter the victory. So if you're looking for games that challenge you and make you feel unstoppable once you've mastered them, you can't go wrong with any on this list. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which game made you rage the most. or which one you finally conquered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.